so I would like to invite Willem from the Opposites and Linda from Q-Dance to join me here. Last year we had DJ Promo at the Hard Dance event, and he was making a really hard effort to expand beyond his sound and include other musicians from other genres, including Willem on his album. And DJ Promo, of course, is huge in the hard dance music style. And I would like to ask Willem, who's a member of the Opposites, one of the most popular rap groups in Holland. What was your experience like working with Promo, and what do you think it has done for him?
Well, let me start beginning saying, in the early '90s, you know, I was confronted with the hardcore, and then I became a huge fan. So years later, I always told people, yeah, I like to do something with the hardcore, you know. And
even though you came up in the hip hop scene.
Yeah, because the thing I learned from hardcore, they always use the rough lyrics from hip hop. I learned the lyrics. Samples, yeah, the samples. Nas and Mobb Deep, you know.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang, all those guys. So I learned the rough lyrics from hardcore. So then years later, I was like, I want to bring that back from the time I used to know it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then we like did a couple of songs, and I think it was good for both sides, because hip hop and hardcore in the history in Holland, it always had something like you know, a different base. I wouldn't say like there were enemies, but it was like it's
a very different separated scenes.
Yeah, and there wasn't enough respect.
And I guess a lot of your fans don't necessarily share your hardcore background.
They don't do.
No, they don't.
No.
So how did people respond? How did your fans respond?
Some of them liked it, some of them don't. But I think the album we did with Promo wasn't a really hardcore album. It was more like a mixed thing. We did the lyrics and he did his part, but it wasn't really hardcore, so it was a whole different thing. But I think it was good for my people, you know, to know there's somebody who has a history in a music style that's like how you say it in English. It's like it's based from in Holland, you know. It has a history. So
right, it's part of the
culture,
Dutch
you know?
heritage. Yeah,
that's what I meant. Yeah.
So if you look at it like that, it wasn't that big a step for
me, or
for you, yeah.
For me, it wasn't a big step. No. It was something I always like to do, but I think for the audience, it's good to know that there is an important history in the music scene, in the dance scene. And hardcore is a big part of it.
Yes, and we should also mention that you had a #1 hit with a song called Broodje Bapau, which had like a happy hardcore break in it.
Yeah.
That was also a funny element of the song.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's also, you know.
It's about fun, no?
Yeah, it's about fun, but it's the culture, you know. It's the Dutch hardcore dance culture. So, yeah.
Okay, Linda from Q-Dance. In what way do you try to expand the audience of hard dance music into other scenes and worlds and music fans?
Well, we can try to experiment at bigger festivals, because our audience is really about the hardcore and hardstyle. So we need to serve them first.
Right.
And experiment with little sparks,
right,
so they can grow into this new thing naturally and not push it through like I want it, but just slow it down. And that's why on big festivals we try to search for other impulses.
And why do you do that? Because you don't necessarily have to do that.
Because there's a difference between the generation from now and the generation before. My generation was really narrow-minded and really only hardcore or hardstyle and nothing else. And this generation is really loving more styles.
Right.
They don't only go to Q-dance events, but they also going to maybe Oi events or a Dance Valley or an Extrema. They're more open-minded. So I want to give them the choice and experiment and let them have a taste of other styles, you know. But still, it has to be on our route. Sometimes a little bit.
People, you're very welcome, but please be quiet. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just about trying to give them a choice and let them taste of some other styles or what's more, because the base of our visitors is really narrow-minded and really difficult audience.
But that's only the older generation, you said.
Yeah. But still, I want that older generation to also see what's more in the scene, but a little bit more in our route to experience other kind of music.
I think we're just being joined by the other half of the crowd. Maybe we should wait a minute for them to settle down.
Harder? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can all speak a little bit closer into the microphone. Linda, you too. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. We've already started. We're talking about crossbreeding is officially the name of this. Was a bit of a strange term, but how to expand your audience beyond your natural base and what happens when you do that. And we talked to Willem in the middle. He's a rapper for The Opposites, very popular rap group, who worked with DJ Promo last year. And on the far right is Linda. She's from Q-Dance, and she was just talking about how they expand the programming of Q-Dance events to, on the one hand, I guess maybe trying to say this right. On the one hand, try to expand the horizons of maybe older fans who are maybe stuck a little bit more in their ways than younger fans, and to cater to younger fans who are used to seeing and enjoying and experiencing other styles of music.
Yes, but the main thing is my passion is hardstyle and hardcore.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of possibilities that we can do and grow with this kind of music. You know, it's the other people of other scenes always look down on us, and they say like, "Oh, you're a hardstyle. What's that?" You know, very laughy about it. And but it's so musical, and I always believe that it can be really international. And you can see last year, without any promotion, the first hardstyle DJs entered the list. And
the DJ Top 100.
Yes. And what I'm trying to do is bring creative people together and see what the possibilities are. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we just try to experiment and see where it goes, you know? And
I guess you need to do this to stay relevant, to stay alive, or otherwise stay stagnant.
Music and events always evolves, so it's not a new thing or something, but we need to evolve. We need to go with the time and go with the flow and try something new, and you see it in the whole world, you know. The Madonnas wanted to work with Dutch house DJs, so the pop is changing into dance, and the rap artists want to work with Dutch house artists.
But number one is your core audience, the hardstyle fans.
We need to provide them with the music and don't push it. So the last time we did the Mysteryland, and I talked with the artists, so what kind of special things that can we do. So we had a rapper with a hardstyle artist, we had a band with a hardstyle artist, a singer. When the lineup was released, everybody was saying, is Q-Dance out of his mind? What are they doing? But it's just a spark, you know, to let them taste that. Don't be so narrow-minded and be more open-minded, you know?
But by being narrow-minded in a way is also how the scene got to be so big, because they were focused.
I know.
And you don't want to, I guess you don't want to dilute it too much.
No, we did it ourselves. We always put only hardstyle. We always put we're going from soft to really hard, ending with hardcore, and we need to loosen up more. You know, see what's more in the world, but staying with the core, and that's hardstyle and hardcore.
Daan, do you think this could also work the other way around?
Yes, for sure. I think it's always already working the other way around, and I think also times are changing. And Linda is right that maybe these are more the days that the crowd is ready. And I do want to say that Dutch hip hop and electronic producers are very close already from long time, and you see this in all kind of. You hear it back from jeugd van tegenwoordig to Cubus to a lot of Dutch artists. So I think this mixing up of hip hop.
The connection is already there, is what you're saying.
The connection is already there, and I think for sure in Dutch hip hop.
Do you agree, Willem? Do you think there's more room for cross-fertilization of these styles?
Yeah, I think so. For an example, DJ Koen sitting over here. He's a big fan of us. And he told me, I like the song of yours, and I want to remix it. And I was like, okay, here you got the parts, and do what you gotta do, you know. And he made a track, a hardstyle track, and it went off. Everybody, we put it in the show, and everybody, all our friends, they like it. They don't listen to hardstyle, but as soon as we play the song, they like it because it's the feeling, you know, the feeling of the song, how you say it, the two styles combining together.
And this was a big hit in Belgium?
The one of Koen?
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
And you've been playing it in your shows in Holland as well?
Yes.
Is there a difference between Belgium and Holland there, or does everybody always react the same?
Well, I think I don't know that for sure, but in Belgium, DJ Koen is from Belgium, so
right.
They know him a bit more than here in Holland. So as soon as we play the song, they like DJ Koen. But here in Holland, you know, like I told you, a hardstyle, hardcore is like a culture from Holland. So as soon as we play it, they like it.
Do you think the song will be as big a hit in Holland as it was in Belgium? Are you going to try?
Well,
you're gonna try it tonight.
I'm gonna try it tonight. Yeah, we're gonna do that in the Susie Wong. You're all invited. I don't know for sure, but that's nothing that has to do with me or with DJ Koen or with hardstyle, with hip hop. That's something that has to do with the song, and will people like it? Yeah, that's a guess. But the thing I heard from a lot of people, you know, at the festivals like Miss Freeland, I heard they play that song like 4 times on different stages. Cubase also, yeah. And everybody was like, "What is this?" I heard the song from the Opposites with hardstyle. What is this? You know, so it works.
Koen, is this what you had in mind when you started working with the Opposites?
No. It's yeah. How do you say it? You're never gonna know if those things are gonna work out. You know? But yeah, they worked out better than I expected. Because the guys are playing it also when they are performing. At the end of their gig, they also play the track. And I never thought that the reaction of other audience and hardstyle would be so good.
So this has maybe opened your mind a little bit, or?
No, but I'm already open-minded because else I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
So I think.
But you have maybe now a bigger belief in the possibilities of.
No, I think the hardstyle crowd has evolved this way also, and is more open-minded than it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, and this song has proven that.
Yeah, but not only me or the Opposites, also other artists in hardstyle the same. You know.
Do you think this song will help you become a bigger DJ in Holland because the Opposites are so well known here?
I don't know. Every time I play in Holland, it goes pretty good. So yeah, I don't know if it made me a bigger artist. I enjoy liking it, and that will okay.
Willem, do you think this will have an influence on the next Opposites album?
The hardstyle?
Yeah. Or is that maybe a bridge too far?
No, I think that's a bridge too far because we gotta do things step by step, and it gotta comes naturally, like this song did. So for opposites, doing a whole song in hardstyle, I think it's not good for us to do that. But like in this way, remixes are like when we doing a track and at the end of it, we maybe like a hard style piece or a hardcore or something like that. Yeah, it will work because we already did it and it works. We had a #1 hit with it, so.
And of course, your usual shows, the hip hop shows, are also known for their energy, and of course, hardstyle is also all about energy. So that's like a natural fit. Daan, do you think it could work with a techno artist? Like this is the world where you're most familiar with, I guess.
Yeah, I think the industrial techno, which is like a bridge between hardcore and techno, works quite well, or had his periods at least where it attracted more techno. But yeah, I'm not sure if the techno crowd is yet ready for it, because maybe they are a little bit narrow-minded sometimes.
As well.
Especially.
Especially, yeah.
And so I'm a little bit unsure if that would work coming year, but yeah, I don't lose hope.
Because Willem he was already an established hip-hop artist.
Yeah.
Do you think an established
hip-hop and hardcore has got a little bit, as I said before, like, it's got a really connection for me as well. As he said, like this hardcore, this hip-hop track sampled in hardcore.
Nevertheless,
tracks.
I mean, techno and hardcore, they also share common roots.
They share common samples, yes.
So do you think there are maybe established techno artists who would be willing to take a step in this direction?
And it's of course this Schransing, you know, the Chris Liebing and all kind of other artists that, or DJ Rush with this whole knee-deep posse. That is, yeah, you've got a lot of techno crowd that is a little bit afraid of that stage at the festival, you know. They don't go.
Even though they like hard dance music.
Yeah, but that's too hard. Yeah.
There's hard and there's too hard.
Yeah, I just think they, at a certain beat rate, they lose it.
Linda, where do you think a crossover works best? What's your experience?
Yeah, I think in our style, because in the end I think everybody loves a little hard bass, because when at Sensation there was one particular show that 6 Million Ways to Die and everybody went crazy. So in the end everybody loves harder style, but it has to not too much, you know. You see it everywhere, the crossbreedings and the experimenting things. Now dubstep is really the influence in every genre. You see it at rock, using dubstep influence.
And you see it with Britney Spears.
Yes, even, you know. So it happens everywhere.
And when you look at the events that you put on, what kind of crossovers have you programmed there?
Well, Miscreant was the biggest tryout. We had so many different hardstyle artists working with a band or a rapper or a singer. 2 years ago we tried, instead of using shows, we're having a band that played live the hits of the hardstyle artists. That was also an experiment.
A rock band?
No, just a live band with a piano and a trumpet and a guitar. That was really cool. And last year we had an orchestra with Brennan Hart. That was really cool. And this year we had Endymion. We wanted to take hardcore to the next level, make it really musical. So we sat together and so what can we do? And they had a London singer and a guitar player and the Dutch singer Lily and a rapper, 2 rappers, Relive. Relive was really like, no, I don't want to be associated with hardcore.
He's like an original old school Dutch hip hop artist.
And he didn't want to be associated with hardcore. So when they shooted the clip, he didn't want to be in it. Afterwards he said, okay, a little bit. And then he performed at DEF CON and it was so crazy, and he said, let's do it. When is the next gig? When is the next track? So it's the energy that harder styles have. You know, the energy of all the people together, not about look what I'm wearing. It's all about the togetherness and the love for the music, and that's, I think, what we have in our scene is really the togetherness that we create with the music.
And that is something that other people who are not very well known within
Yes,
this world
that's the example that
respond to.
Yes, because that is really what we do at Mysteryland. We have one of the big stages there, and the people who buy a ticket for really Q-Dance will stay there the whole day, and people who don't know
At the Q-Dance area.
Yes, the people who don't know us and just pass us by and walk next to the stage, and they're like, wow, damn, look at those people, and look at they going crazy. Even when it like rains so much, they stay there because it's really the passion for this kind of music, and I don't think you see it anywhere as. And it's really underground because we don't use any television or radio anymore that often. People go to the website.
Yeah.
And it's really big. And I really always believe that this could be really, really big.
So at the start you were talking about expanding horizons of the hardstyle fans, but it also works the other way around. You draw in new audiences as well.
Winning souls.
You're winning souls for the cause. And that really works? People go to the specific Q-Dance events? Newbies?
I don't think it's really they're gonna go to a standalone event of Q-Dance. If it's a hosting and where there's more choice, they will stay there for maybe an hour, bring some friends, and you know that's also good for us. Has it also sometimes not worked? What you've tried? Can you give us an example of that?
Yes, we did an experiment thing a couple of years ago on In Control. We put it prime time, and it was something completely different. And people were like watching this live act. Like,
what did you do?
Yeah, it was a live act.
Yeah.
It wasn't hardstyle. It wasn't. It was a dance band, an electronic band, and yeah, people wouldn't take it. It was too much pushed. Ja, door de strot geduwd.
Down their throat, yes.
So now we've learned about this, and we talked with the artists also, and did a brainstorm and talked, okay, something has to happen. And we didn't, it was necessary to tell them, okay, we want to give you this platform if you would try something new, you know? We in it together. And that was 2 years ago, and everybody was like, okay, that gives them the spark and the inspiration to do more and try more. So that was good.
I would like to ask if there's anyone in the audience who thinks this is not a good development, who thinks this is diluting what the music is all about, and that you should stick to what you're good at. Is a purist. Is there anyone here? No? Everybody thinks this is a good idea. Okay, excellent. Do you get that feedback sometimes?
Yes.
So
from visitors and from artists.
From artists as well?
Yes, they say thank you for pushing me the right direction, and this is the route that we want to walk from now.
But also negative reactions?
Before and afterwards they see it and they're like, okay, you did a good job.
How far do you think you can go?
The sky is the limit, right? We will see. We will see.
But it will have to remain recognizable as a.
I know, but
hardstyle or hard dance event.
At one point, you will know when it's enough.
Yeah, if the bass doesn't.
It's a feeling. It's not. You can say till there, and we have to stop there. It's a feeling, and you know, time will say.
Daan, you've never worked in the hardstyle business.
No.
But you know people working there. Is it really a different world from the regular house and techno world? And what are the differences?
It was a little bit, or it was, and this is why the HDE is here, because the HDE didn't track or it didn't mangle, and it is part of electronic scene.
It's a huge part, and it's
huge. And even we had a debate yesterday. Even most electronic artists are like kind of a mingle between London and Berlin, and actually what's really Dutch, and we should be proud of, are the harder style. And so I do think the time is more that people are in a way proud of their Dutch heritage and proud that Holland was part of this gabber
movement. On the other hand, we're still having a separate event here, far away from the city center. If you're attending the Amsterdam Dance event, like a regular a person at the conference, you would have no idea this was going on here.
Yeah.
And
this is a start, I think, and without this start, it wouldn't be. I think this is already amazing that 500 attenders or 600 go, especially to here. So I think this is a start, and maybe later on, if there is a bigger venue for HDE, I wouldn't know why HDE and HDE wouldn't mingle, because the topics are pretty the same, actually.
Why do you think it has been separate for so long?
Because I think people are afraid from both sides. You know, hardcore is safe, or techno is safe, and you don't looking for the experiment. But indeed, you know, everybody when they hear like this gabber part in a hip hop song or techno song or whatever, everybody fancy it, like it.
So you think there is lots of room for people coming together closer in the future?
Yes, I think this harder dance will always be part of the electronic scene. That this will never go away, and I do think that youth always will have the need to bang and to waiting to the bass to kick in, and for some people it can't go fast enough.
Willem, I would like to ask you something as a person with a hip-hop background and working in that world. You see a lot of dance music influences in hip-hop in the last few years, especially in the United States, with people like David Guetta and Afrojack producing tracks for R&B singers and rappers. Do you think this is a trend that could be expanded to include more hardstyle music like you have been doing?
On the producing part or the vocal part?
Well, in the part where it comes together, really. Because there is already a trend for more dance music in rap music.
Yeah.
But not so much this type of dance music.
Well, I think there's a chance that the both styles are coming together more often. But the thing that's already said, like hardstyle hardcore, is a pretty it's a core base. It has a hardcore fan base, so it really has to go step by step. I don't think me and Koen should go to the studio and make like an album or something. Really a hardcore hip hop style combining, and I produce his song and he goes with a vocal or something. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. No.
Excuse me, can I make a
Sure, go ahead. Yes.
Because I actually think you misjudge the crowd here.
Who is?
The hardcore audience and the hardstyle audience actually is a very grown-up audience. And to comment on you, I'm hosting Tone Radio, and yesterday for the third time I had Frankie Vita and Pat Duo in the show, and we had something like 50,000 listeners on internet radio, and that's all our core fans. So don't underestimate what the people are thinking. And I think, and I strongly believe as an artist, that you also sometimes need to educate people.
Yeah.
That's actually what I'm missing in this whole conversation.
Well, I gotta say something. We went to Cubase a few weeks ago, and when we were walking on the area over there were like hundreds of people. They were like, "Hey, from opposites, how are you? I like your songs, and I like the thing you did over there, and I listened to your album. I got your albums." So I gotta agree with you. I think it's more of a discussion of the agents and the organizers. They have to talk with each other, like what can we do to expand this thing, because the audience, I think they like it. That's the reason Koen called me and said, "I want to do a remix."
So do you think the people behind the scenes are too afraid?
I do. I actually do, because just like last night, when I came to my friend Vita cameras, they brought Music One with them, 4 or 5 cameras with them, and the way they spoke in front of the camera, the passion I could hear, and also presenting yourself for a gathered audience makes me very positive about the things we can do in the future. But we need to realize our own strength, and we cannot forget that we are responsible for every action that we do. And like I said before, sometimes you need to educate people, and just like Linda said before, of course, you can't stuff it to the throat. But I actually believe sometimes we are too afraid of the reaction of the people. And I strongly believe that from the moment you look through all the forums and the negative things on the internet, and you actually try it, you will see afterwards that there also are a lot of good, how do you say it, comments on it. So,
And it's always, of course, the people who are negative that are most vocal, and let them be known the most, really. And the people who are happy, not so much.
Well, actually, internet brought everything closer, you know. So everybody has an opinion, and we need to deal with that. But I strongly believe that if you forget about that and don't take it too close with you, then we have a whole lot of possibilities. I strongly believe.
I do gotta say, at the other hand, we did an album with DJ Promo, and before there was an album even out, Lowland said, "Okay, we put you guys in this. It was Bravo, and it was
big tent,
Packed.
totally packed." So I think all the agents they try.
And like you said before, it's not something you need to force, you know. But
Exactly.
I strongly believe, especially if you mention Lowlands, I really hope that they would embrace the hot styles a little bit more. But I don't think that will happen, but it would be good.
But it's also good to have separate, otherwise all the festivals will be the same, you know? You can have a little bit overlap, jongens.
Overlap.
Overlap. But still, you need to have different spaces. Otherwise, Holland is such a small country, you know.
And I think it comes more from artists. It should come more from artists and these kind of musical projects than
From the grounds up.
promoters. That's like from top. So in a way, I'm jealous on the knee-deep people that are not afraid for the hardcore crowd and they treat all the same. You know, I just experience the audience I'm usually to deal with, this minimal techno people or whatever. Yeah, that's for them. They are afraid, and so it's a jealous thing towards these artists that don't give a shit.
Okay, there was someone here with a question. Yeah, you.
I wanted to make a remark about the call you did with Promo, because he said I don't think I should go to the studio with
Koen.
Cool. Yeah.
there. But I wonder why not, because Stylos and Boombox 1000, they were received quite well. And so why not? You know,
What's holding you back?
It did, but I also
you
mentioned
afraid?
the album we did with Promo. It wasn't really basically hardcore.
I thought it was like the perfect example of how you should combine those two.
It is, but it was because Promo did his part, and he did as good as he could. But I don't think me or Twan, the other part of the opposite, as a producer, should sit down and produce something that Koen or Promo used to do, you know, because it's a whole different thing. We can come with ideas, but I think it's better to let the hardcore or the hardstyle producer work it out, and we as a vocalist do our part of it, you know, because if we should produce a hardstyle or a hardcore song right now, it would be a whole different thing than the audience right now would listen, you know. Well, that's good, but it has to go step by step. So if we sat down with Koen or Promo and say, okay, we have some ideas, just to produce, just only on the producing side, we have some ideas, I would let them work it out and not by ourselves.
But maybe, you know, they come from other scene and they have another vibe. They don't have to make it a hardstyle track, but produce a beat.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He can make a beat. He can make a beat.
Yeah, well, that's the thing you said. That's the whole the project with Promo. It worked out as a new kind of sound. It wasn't hardcore. It wasn't hardstyle. It was a whole totally new kind of thing. So.
Still, you say you need to separate those things while making it.
Well, if you ask me to do a hardstyle song, no, I won't do that because I'm not good at it. So it would be a whole different thing, you know.
It should.
We're not asking you to make just a hardstyle song, but how do you say that?
Mag het Nederlands hoor?
Collaborate.
You should. Ja, ik weet niet het Engels moet zeggen.
Zeg maar in Nederlands.
Waarom niet? Waarom onderscheid je? Ik bedoel, van het hele album is het op zich. Ik snap wat je bedoelt met dat je hardcore beat hebt en dat je daar een tekst op zit. Maar ik vind het niet van af te horen hoor. Ik vind het gewoon, die twee zijn met z'n drieën in één studio gezeten tegelijkertijd begonnen. Waarom denk je niet dat het kan? Het is gewoon een kwestie van een middenzoek.
Moet ik in het Engels reageren? Of,
So why do you even separate between these styles, hip hop and hardstyle, or and not just come to it as music?
Well, I do, but that's the thing. But in English, I can explain myself. But the thing is, if you ask me, would you produce a hardstyle song? No, I won't, because I can't make hardstyle. I'm not good. It's part of the, if you like it or not, it's a technical thing, and I'm not good at it. If I want to sit down with Koen or Promo, yes, I will. And we're gonna make something that's gonna be good. But I won't start sitting over there and with a mind like I'm gonna make hardcore. So that's what I meant. We agree, but I don't know how to say it good in English, you know?
I have a question for Linda. You say you have to bring these changes and these new influences slowly and not force it down people's throat. What do you think for 2012, where do you want to develop that? How far can you go maybe next year where you weren't before?
Bringing more hardstyle and hardcore artists in the list and make it more international, more music-wise. I really do think the sky's the limit, and I'm open for ideas. So if one of my artists in this genre has an idea, come talk with me and let me see if we can combine it in our show on our platform.
So you intend to push this even further next year and the year after?
Yes.
Even more? Okay.
We've only just begun.
We've only just begun, okay. Yeah, please.
You have been talking about crossbreeding with more popular styles, which is of course the most logical.
It don't have to be popular.
For your parties, but do you also see possibilities for crossbreeding with less popular?
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Like what, maybe extreme metal music or?
Well, no, but now it's more towards the popular music.
Right.
You mean dubstep or hip hop? But yeah. But what do you mean? For example?
For example, more towards industrial or
you heard about core, right?
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think about it? Huh?
But I mean with hardstyle.
I think if you make it more hardstyle, combining it with industrial, we want to make hardstyle more international as well, and I think. And maybe you have artists that will do it. You know, it has to be a wide variety. One part will go more international. One part will make it more underground. So everything is possible. I do think that. So if somebody thinks, okay, I want to try it, I will see two artists from different styles bring it together. So
I also want to mention the FX Twin, and also it's not really hardcore. I don't say it. It's more like experimental, but that's got also this influence. And the last Lowlands show was 30 minutes out of this 1.5 hour was 150 at least.
So if you bring it as experimental music,
I think he's brilliant, right? FX Twin. He's like, I think if the music is really good, doesn't matter if it's popular or non-popular. It's about a good song and it touches you.
Is there anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Heart for Heart, and we have a branch called dubstyle.nl, and yeah, you, the girl on the right, I think.
Linda. Linda Timmerman from Q-Dance.
Introduced in 2008 the dubstyle genre with Pavlo. Do you think that there is a future for this style, or is it just a fever that goes by?
That question I asked to Gomez from Oi, because I don't know if it's a hype or it's gonna be like going much further and more years. And Gomez told me it's not a hype. It's gonna go higher and further and more variety. So I think it's gonna stay.
Yeah, you've got this guy Skrillex in the United States. He's one of the biggest DJs now.
Huge guy.
Yes.
Is that someone you would like to see on one of your events?
Yes, but he's too expensive.
He's already too expensive.
Yes, but he has new proteges I'm watching now. So maybe for future events. And probably everybody's going to Paradiso. And I think Pavlo is going the right way. He was really inspired by Skrillex. So he made his first really dubstep track. And they liked it. The tour manager of Skrillex liked it. So who knows?
Who knows? That's interesting. Anyone else? No? Okay. I might have one short question for each of you. What's your prediction for the future?
In what kind of?
The theme that we've been talking about. What do you think what's going to happen?
I do think you will find a combination faster between all kind of styles, maybe because of the digitalization, because things goes faster into your hard disk. I'm unsure why it is, but for example, this Skrillex, and that he pulled over in maybe 9 months that I know him, or 6 months, this kind of, and Mojo's talking about Heineken music halls, and this kind of 5.5, so that it can go so fast, so it's hard to predict.
Yeah, that's very true. Willem?
Well, we'll keep making music, the opposites, and in the future I hope to do some more collaborations with hardcore, hardstyle producers. Maybe we'll do a whole album.
But first, a regular new album from the opposites next year.
Yes.
Okay.
And I call DJ Promo and Koen and I make a whole new album.
Maybe do some remixes.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, Linda?
I think that we will keep evolving, keep trying, keep experimenting, build up platform, and stay close to yourself and do it with passion. I think the best music comes from passion.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you next year and we'll see where we stand then.